Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Garden. Today I thought we'd do something a little bit not garden related. So I haven't done a chicken video in quite a while, and I really don't know. It's probably been years and years. But we got some new additions to our flock just in the last couple months. So we've got 4 new babies here. They are straight run, which means that they could be a mix of boys and girls. We got them from a local farm called Blackberry Hill Farm. She lives nearby, and she was hatching some babies from her flock, and I decided to grab a few of them. So our flock is pretty old. I think the average age right now is around 7 years old. The last time we got chicks was about two or 3 years ago. So it was time for a new batch of chicks, and we are pretty sure at this point that we have 1 boy and 3 girls. It's not guaranteed, but that's the way it's looking at this point. We've named the boy Reacher, but the girls still have yet to be named. So all of our boy chickens in the past have had names kind of accidentally after actors or after TV shows. So we had Pete, named after Sneaky Pete. And then we also had Barry, which did not stay very long because Barry and Pete did not get along. But we watched a show called Barry, and that's what we named him. And we decided to go with Reacher for this one. So we don't have a rooster right now. Our boy Pete passed away last year, so we are open to getting a new rooster. So we'll see how this one comes along. If he turns out to be not a nice rooster, he will be going away. So I thought I would give you a little tour of our chicken coops, our chicken yard, and some of our chickens. So this here is the original coop that came with the house, and we actually got, I think, 4 chickens that came with the house when we moved in as well. So this is still standing. We thought about getting rid of it because we did get a new coop, but decided to go ahead and keep it. And it has come in pretty handy for when we introduce new chickens to the flock. But let's take a tour. It's falling apart a little bit, but it's been holding up pretty well. So we did recently put this little new handle on it here because the door didn't close all the way and mice and rats could probably get in. So this just kind of turns, and then we can open the door. There was electricity in here before, but we did remove it so that we could put electricity in the other coop. But we've got a nice roost bar here that we, I think, cut from one of our many trees, maybe the maple tree, I'm not sure which one. And then we've got another roost here that's just a 2x4, and we've got some nesting boxes here on the bottom. Obviously the babies are not laying yet, so there's not really any need for this, but we've just got this in here for the future, I guess. We've got some hemp bedding here on the bottom that creates a lot better clean environment. It's not as dusty as wood shavings that we used to use. It is more expensive, but it lasts a lot longer. So that is pretty much it for the old coop. We do have a small chicken run surrounding this old coop. So we've got chicken wire here that wraps around. We've got a little door here so we could get in and out. And that just keeps the babies separated from the older chickens. So we'll keep them separated for at least another month, maybe 2. Because if we let them together at this point, they would probably get pretty beat up. So they need time to get used to each other. And we haven't had any issues doing it this way in the past. We've got their waterer here, which is a Rubbermaid cooler with this water attachment to it. So this is a nipple waterer, and that keeps the water nice and clean, and you don't have to fill it quite as often because this will hold quite a bit of water. We have a bigger one of these that we use for the older chickens, and it lasts a pretty long time before having to be refilled. But we're using the smaller one here for the chicks for the time being. And then we've got their food here. We do bring the food in at night because it will attract rodents if we leave it out. And that one there is our little rooster. We could tell which one's a boy because their comb is much, much bigger than the other 3. So the other 3 have pretty small combs. So we're thinking those are the girls. We've got a ramp here going up to our chicken run. Some of our older girls, they don't jump very well, so this really helps the older girls. And we've got an automatic chicken door here, which opens automatically in the morning when it gets light out, and then closes at night when it starts getting dark. So that has really been helpful. We've got this cool little sign here. Now, I just noticed today this window screen is starting to come out of the window. We usually leave the window open, and I didn't notice the screen was starting to come off, so we need to get that repaired. But this is a Tough Shed. So the Tough Shed people came out and put this together for us, and then we painted it the same color as the house over there. So we never did get around to painting the trim. We meant to do that, but just didn't get around to it. We've also got a sign. This is a metal sign that we have on the door. You can see the Tough Shed logo up there. We've got vents on the front and the back of the chicken coop. And I wanted to show you the inside. So I've got the light on. We do have electricity in here. We've got a light on there. We've got a switch to control the light here. And we've got a thermostat. So the thermostat actually controls the vent fans. So we've got fans on both of the vents, and they automatically turn on when it gets to, we have it set to 80 degrees, which is really helpful. And then we've got a 12-volt battery. So the battery here is what's controlling the automatic door. And it goes months and months without us having to recharge it. So it lasts a pretty long time. We've got a cinder block here that is just a step up for the older girls so that they can get out a little bit easier. We've got 6 nesting boxes in here. We've got 3 here on the ground. The oldest girl, the 8 or 10-year-old Ari, she cannot jump really at all, so she sleeps in the bottom nesting box because she just cannot jump up on top of the nesting boxes or up here on the roosts. So we've got our other nesting boxes up a little bit higher, not too high up off the ground, but we've got 3 more here. We've got a mirror that really needs to be cleaned. They like looking at themselves once in a while. And our roof spars, so those are just 2x4s that we have in here. And we've got a poop tray below that we clean. We basically scrape it off and compost the droppings about every other day. And it's about time to do that again. So we haven't really cleaned the coop done a really deep clean of the coop in quite a while. It's been probably almost a year. We like to use the hemp bedding, so that lasts a really long time. And since we're cleaning the poop off of the poop tray on a regular basis, it really doesn't get that dirty. We've got a lot of chicken feathers underneath the poop tray. That is really great for compost. So you can actually buy feather meal from the store to add to your garden if your garden is deficient in nitrogen. But like I mentioned, we haven't cleaned this in a really long time, but we are planning on doing that this weekend. It's kind of on our to-do list. It has been for a little while. So we're going to get that all cleaned out. We've got plywood up on the walls, and there is insulation behind it. You can see here we haven't gotten around to fully putting up the plywood around the coop. So we've got some insulation showing there, and we've got some insulation showing up on the roof. But that really does help keep it warmer in the wintertime, and it doesn't get as hot in here in the summertime. And we've got this bag hanging on the wall. So we've got a bag around the temperature sensor that we have in here. So we've got a weather station, and we've got these sensors in a few different places. We have one in the greenhouse, but we're able to just see what the temperature and humidity is in various places around the property. So that's kind of helpful. Oh, we've got this. I was going to show this tray here. So this tray holds their free choice calcium, which is an oyster shell. So this really helps keep their eggshells nice and hard. Without this, their eggshells get really thin and they break really easily. So they nibble on that as they need it. And yeah, that's pretty much how the inside of the coop looks. The coop also has this overhang on it, so this helps for a few reasons. During the summer it gets really hot, and they do like to go under there to get out of the sun and get a little bit of shade. And it's also great for rainy season, which we get a lot of rain here in the Pacific Northwest, but they like to go under there to hide away from the rain as well. I wanted to show you our food dish here. So this is a rubber dish here that we got on, I think, Amazon. I think this is made for a water catch for like a hot water heater, I think. But this lasts a super long time. And then we're using this water here for now. This is not my favorite. I like the nipple waterers. But this does hold, I think, 3 gallons or so. But the water gets so dirty. I don't know if you can tell, but it gets dirty really fast. So like I mentioned, the nipple waterers really keep the water a lot cleaner. But we do have to put new water in there about once a week or so. Here's a look at our full chicken run. We recently, well, actually it was a couple years now, expanded the run so it's much larger than it was initially, and we put up a new fence. We do let the girls out to free range the backyard in the evenings, and we do have a fully fenced backyard, so they aren't able to escape, but they do enjoy getting a little bit of green grass and digging in the worms and finding all kinds of goodies in the grass. As you can see, there's a lot of weeds growing in the chicken run, which is a first. I don't remember there ever being a time where there was this many weeds, because normally they scratch them up and eat them, and there is just a lot. There's some purslane down here, which chickens enjoy. There's dandelions. Chickens eat those. And amaranth. You can see they've been nibbling on this amaranth, but I'm really surprised they let it get this long. Also in the chicken run, we've got this cool feature. This is a natural chicken roost. So we cut this off of one of our trees a while ago, and Mark somehow was able to put it into the ground there. And they've actually stripped all the bark off of it. You can see there's really not any bark left on it, but they've stripped that all off, and they do like to roost on there, especially in the mornings. So I think that's a fun little feature in the chicken run. We've got 12 hens right now. Our oldest girl is right here. This is Ari. She is 10.5 years old now, but I'm surprised chickens actually live that long. But we've got several that are 7 and 8 years old. The average age of the flock before we got the chicks was, I believe, 6 years old. So Bertha is also another older one that we have. She's an olive egger. So Athena, this is an Easter egger. She is also one of our newer chickens. She's one of the most friendly of the chickens. She does let me pick her up, and she sits on my lap, and she's a lot of fun. We've got Ari and Bertha still eating. They're little piggies. They like to eat a lot. And then this is Dumb Dora. She just always has this weird dumb look on her face, so we just call her Dumb Dora. Opal is another Easter egger or Americana, so she lays the blue colored eggs, but she is a really, really pretty girl. And then we've got this black copper Marans, and she, I always forget what her name is. She's the only one that I just can never remember her name, but it's something like Mandy or something like that. And then we've got Charlie. She's an olive egger here on the left, and I think that is Luna. Luna is an ice bar. She lays blue eggs as well. She's one of our older gals. We've got Kimberly. So Kimberly is another very friendly one. She's one of our younger ones as well. She likes to talk. She likes to peck at me. She's very nosy. And then we've also got Brownie. So Brownie here is one that would always escape from the chicken run. She would actually jump over the fence to lay her egg in the compost bin. Luckily, she has not done that in a while, but we would find her getting out every single day. This is Maya. She has the longest comb out of all of the chickens. It almost covers her eyes, but she doesn't walk that great. She's always had kind of a little bit of a waddle for the last few years, so I don't know if it's arthritis or something, but she's also another one of our older gals. This here is Nina. Looks like she wants to play with the chicks. This is our all-black girl. She is a Spartona, so kind of similar to the I am Samani. She's got black comb, black feet, black feathers, black skin, black beak, so all black. She's our smallest chicken, and she's pretty much towards the bottom of the pecking order, but she makes a really surprisingly great mom. She does go broody a lot, though she's never been broody this year. When they go broody, they basically sit in the nesting box all day long because they want to hatch out chicks. And Kimberly is a little troublemaker. It's about bedtime for these little girls, and I might have to put them into the coop because this is their first day outside and they are excited and probably don't want to go to bed. So I think we might have introduced all of them. I don't think there's anybody else hiding, so hopefully that was all 12 of them. If you have any questions about chickens or our setup, let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this little tour of the coops and the chickens. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.